Hello, internet land. Watch Nick smoke the devil's lettuce from
I was
across the
drinking
world.
water.
Oh, is that what that was? It looked like a vape. I only looked over for a second. That's a nice jug of water. You got a nice jug, sir. I commend you for staying hydrated. Meanwhile, drinking just a little bit of beer.
Cheers.
Right, beautiful. We are all clear on audio.
Salud.
Perfect.
Yes, session 5. It's mark that as us getting it right. At least me.
Tech
getting it
issues
right.
are damned.
We're getting closer every session, I think. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Nothing bad.
I ain't got no wood over here.
I do, but not for you.
Kinky. But
Woody Harrelson.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
yeah,
Happy Monday.
good. Thriving. Semester's over.
Hooray!
Oh yeah, congrats.
Huzzah!
So
My vacation with my in-laws is over.
Hooray!
But you were in Vegas at least.
that's
It doesn't
true.
matter, man.
That's yeah.
Doesn't matter where you go.
I feel like being in Vegas would just stress me out more because I am not built for that environment.
Done it one time when I was 22. I have not been back in 13 years.
Oh wow, that's a long time.
I went for 4
That's-
days when I was 22.
That's
so
all you need.
That was way too long.
Yeah, 4 days. Yeah, I was gonna say I might be pushing it.
They
Yeah.
don't tell you about daytime, you know? No one
Exactly.
tells you about daytime.
Daytime
And
in
it's-
Vegas.
It's like you wake up, it's so hot. No, and like
Mm.
nobody like drinks cold liquids down there. They're like soda in their water's just on the floor, not in the fridge. It's
What are you talking about?
Ugh.
You're not staying in Hills.
got the wrong
Where are
people.
you?
I'm with, you know?
Where are you staying in Vegas?
Feel like I was in a frickin' gulag.
Oh man.
Sounds like it. Oh gosh. I know where I'm not going now.
I don't mind Vegas. It's fun if you plan it right.
I would just want to go to one of those buffets. That's really all I want.
Dude,
out of Vegas.
I've eaten like 5 pounds of crab.
Oh,
That is my life goal. I mean, honestly, on a
So
weekly
much garlic
basis.
butter. It is the best.
A
Stuff
whole
with those-
ordwy of crab.
A
Yes.
whole
Yeah,
orderly
exactly.
of crabs. Exactly.
yeah.
Wait for somebody to lead into that. Crab legs? She's got them for days.
Why does
All
Daryl
the
look?
legs.
Daryl looks sort of like a bearded Goku.
I see it. I see
Oh,
it.
yeah.
A little
see
bit,
that,
yeah. I feel it.
That's funny. Here, I'll zoom in for you guys.
Fun fact for next week. Next week is my birthday, so we'll be recording
Ooh.
on my
Ooh.
30th birthday.
Oh,
wow.
30.
milestone level.
Hitting
Yes.
the dirty 30.
Congratulations.
The age of gay death.
Oh,
But,
Oh,
I've heard about this.
oh yes,
From you.
that is a very real, yeah, that's probably true. It's a very real thing. Once you turn 30, pretty much everyone disregards you on dating apps in the queer community. So fortunately, I already have a partner, unless he decides to get rid of me when that happens. But,
Right? Happy birthday, I'm out.
oh, sorry, you turned 30. Like, gotta go.
Trading it in for the new model.
Oh, Jesus.
Right, exactly. Gotta take advantage while I'm still 26 or whatever the hell he's turning this next week.
I hope that doesn't happen to you.
I'm sure it won't.
You guys have the same birthday week?
We do, actually. He's
Wow.
only 2 days before me.
Couple of Tauruses?
Tauruses. For all you astrology girlies out there, we are the Taurus gang.
Tore asses.
My
Or
sister's birthday is
asses.
tomorrow, so I've got a lot of Taurus experience in my life.
Like, half of my family's birthdays are within 2 weeks.
That's
Wow.
I
crazy.
mean, basically, the end of April into May is just birthdays.
Birthday month.
My mom, my nephew, my brother-in-law were all this past week.
I just happen to know
Goddamn.
a lot of people born on the 27th of every month. So like most of the year, I know somebody, and not like one of the random of hundreds of like Facebook friends or whatever, just
Yeah.
like loose connections. It's like no, it's
Right.
like I know people close enough to actually physically talk to. It's like, hey, your birthday's on the 27th, and it's just like one every month.
Every
Huh.
4 weeks you're booked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's the
I-
best way to do it, I think. Rather
I've
than every
reduced
other
it
week or
to
so.
just a birthday wish. That's a lot of partying.
Yep.
I'd rather be
Yeah.
doing this.
There you go.
Program your Facebook to just say happy birthday on the 27th of every month.
I'm a mixed bag.
Happy
I love-
birthday
Happy
love
birthday,
partying.
you know who you are.
to all it may concern. Happy birthday.
That's good. All right,
Speaking
you guys
of my
ready
friend
to? Oh, go ahead.
Justin, my friend Justin's birthday was 2 days ago, April 27th.
Hmm.
Happy
Oh.
belated, Justin. You son of a
Another
bitch.
27th.
27th is a sign.
What session are we on?
5,
Below 5.
I think.
Yeah.
That's
Mission
what the sign
27.
says.
If the sign says there's something wrong, we blame the DM. That's how this works.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, just blame me for all your problems.
I mean, yeah, that's
in game and out of game. I'll take it.
true. I-
I'm not going to do a lot of intro today, just because I want to get to the game and play more. So
Let's do it.
I'm going to keep this brief, get to the recap as fast as I can, and then jump in for us and you, the listeners. Yeah, just let me skip through half of this copy here. After tonight, we will hit all the requirements to become Twitch affiliates. So thank you, everyone out there in internet land. Shout out to Chris, HTV, Mia El Chivo for the support and love he's given us, and Nick for brute forcing us into that community that he's part of. What's it called? The Hidden Stream Village? Yeah, HSV. All a bunch of good folks trying to build each other up there, which is awesome to see. I'm very new to Twitch and Twitch communities, so it's a little overwhelming. Still kind of is, but it's cool to see all the chatter that's going on in there. So it's cool. I like it. I like it a lot. So with Twitch affiliate, we'll be able to accept bits and sub tiers. Correct me if I'm wrong, Cody, as our resident expert.
Essentially, yes, we'll be able to get subscriptions of
Emojis
different
and all that
tiers.
stuff. And with that, for a some amount of bits, I'm allowing you, the listeners and audience members of Twitch, to reward our players here with hero points, or obols as we're calling them, with a maximum of 3 per session. And another option is to spend those bits on a roll. You, the player, will get to roll a dice to pick a random encounter or hazard that I'll throw into a session, from like low to severe difficulties, and I'm excited to see how that completely enhances the narrative. Because that's what it's going to
Yeah.
do. It's just going to enhance the narrative, right?
Absolutely.
Shout out and thanks to Andrzej Bartolovic, Maggotmeister on his socials, for doing a lot of our art. He did the he picked my brain and worked on this art that you see on my shirt, Live by the Die and Die by the Die. There's a black lotus and a white lotus in there because magic is cool. WotC's
True.
not, Hasbro's worse. But I still,
you, Hasbro.
I love Magic the Gathering. God damn it. What else? Oh, and Jolt Bead, or Woogrash here on Twitch. He's the artist that is currently making renditions of the player characters. So he's working through those right now, and can't wait to do the big reveal when they're all done. Hopefully all of your characters survive before that happens. So roll
Knock on
good.
wood.
Roll well until
Yeah.
that reveal, and then you can die, and then I'll
Not
commission
my
you.
track record.
And I just want to thank
can use-
all of you wonderful followers. What's up? Spit it out.
I was just say we can use the portrait for the obituary.
That's right.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
I'll put a new square in the foundry that says
Deceased.
Rip.
Yeah.
Deceased, the obits. Yeah.
Pull a beer cast and just play your twin.
There you go. Exactly.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot that happened. That's awesome.
I would really just like it if you guys all called me Landfill too.
I need to rewatch that.
So good.
Yeah, thanks to all of you followers to get to us to affiliate, and the most 3 recent followers: Curtis, Brian, from our other
Oh, yeah.
shows here on Death Dream Studios. Thanks for the follow. Finally,
Thanks, Brian. Yeah.
Not like I'd been
Thank you.
active on here anyways. So, Tall BZ420, Ryan. Thanks.
Oh,
for
that's
the follow.
Talbert.
Yeah, it is. Son
Oh,
of a
okay.
bitch.
What's up, Talbert?
I hung out with him at
I don't
a
think he's
2-year-old's
listening,
birthday
but
party.
thanks, man.
You might. Then Pixel42 was chatting it up with them on Chris's channel while he was playing Fortnite. So thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Can't wait to interact with you all more as we continue to get through this nonsense. So let's just introduce yourselves, you players, your characters. Remind us who you're playing, not what class they are. Unless, no, I don't think. Well, it'll reveal. It'll reveal over time, and then pull a hero point card if you want to, or remind us what you currently have, and let's talk about who your favorite villain is for National Villains Day.
Huh. Cool.
Let's start with. I'll start with me. I'll start, so you guys have some time to think.
Okay.
I'll just say Carnage is at the top of my mind. Marvel villain Carnage. Just because I grew up playing the SNES game. And I just love the idea of this serial killer being possessed by a symbiote and then murdering heedlessly. It's a very simple villain at surface level, but if you read through the comics, you kind of come to learn that there's a lot more to it. I actually just picked up, I've had this one for a while, and I want to pick up more.
Talking about Woody Harrelson earlier too.
See that?
Ooh.
Ooh, okay.
I think this came out last year, but it's In the Court of Crimson. I haven't gotten through most of it, but it's pretty sweet. And I'm not up to date on a lot of the current canon in the Marvel universe, but it's fun, and I like Carnage. Simple as that.
Fair
Favorite
enough.
villain, right now at least, that I can think of. And I'm Robert, the GM, showrunner, terrible editor, but nonetheless, let's go to Jacob.
Oh boy. We start with hard questions I don't necessarily have answers for yet. I'm Jacob. I play Sif. I play a certain class. We don't know. I'm the only Noel in the party. The only non-human in the party. Villain off the top of my head. I mean, he's more of an anti-hero. I've been a big fan of Spawn. All my life. I haven't jumped deep into the comics. If we want like a more villain, I'm kind of off the Marvel movies now. I'm definitely in that superhero fatigue, absolutely.
Totally.
Understandable.
The Infinity War Thanos, I thought was great because he was truly like a true neutral. And then they destroyed him and just made the villain comically evil in Endgame. And so I thought that was incredibly disappointing. I don't read the comics though, so I don't know the writing there. But I did very much like Thanos when he was just neutral and sort of just rolling dice. And then they just made him comically evil. And yeah, just kind of fell off.
That's fair.
And it doesn't have to be like a Marvel hero too. That's just kind of what was at the top of my head too. Like any villain from any franchise, show, or movie.
Right. I know I have good answers because I love like super in-depth villains, but all I've been watching is I'm finally watching My Hero Academia now.
Oh.
Which is a
Nice.
fantastic anime. So I'm not like I don't know well my super in-depth villain. I'll probably figure it out during the session tonight. I'll just be like randomly this. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know that
yeah.
name. But I'll just go down the line and stop embarrassing myself. Cody, how about you?
All right. So, hello. I am Cody, and I am playing Ben, who sees a human something or other. Let's see. Favorite Marvel, or well, not Marvel villain. I immediately went there. Favorite villain in
Sorry, I set the
general.
precedent.
No, my brain just was like automatically Marvel villain for some reason. Let's see. Okay, it might just be because I have a lot of Starfinder on my brain consistently, but I really like the Swarm in Starfinder. They're just, for those who are unaware, they are a giant hive mind of insectoid creatures whose only goals, I should say, are essentially to consume, expand, and essentially not take back, but uh, steal back their god.
Ooh, spoilers.
And a little bit,
Yeah, we're
but
playing Attack of the Swarm.
little bit, but it is what it is. So play Attack of the Swarm.
We are.
I am also.
Yeah. We're only in book 1.
Oh, we're actually in book 3 right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
It's been good. That AP moves quick.
I think
But
we're in part 2, but yeah, it's
yeah,
fun.
I really like the Swarm a lot, and I hope that we see more of them in 2E. I'm gonna kick it over to Nick because he's had it too good for too long.
My name is Nick, and I am playing Faradir, also human something or another. I think for Marvel villains, I'm gonna go with Frost from Blade because I've got like an evil vampire kick going lately, and I'm gonna go with that. And he's a badass, so. And then I'll kick it over to Dylon.
I'm about to spit some hot fire. What's up?
God.
What? He's like,
What's up? That's all you get.
Yeah. Hey everyone. Let's take that back. No editing, of course. But my name is Dylan. I am playing Bertrand Kincaid, who is another human, something or other, as has been said. I want to. Star Wars is my jam. I want to say Darth Vader because that's an easy answer, but I'm gonna go ahead and say the Man in Black from the Dark Tower series. If you haven't read that book series, you should. I recommend it. Don't watch the movie. Just pretend it doesn't exist. Start reading those books.
That was a smooth plug.
No, read the books. The movie's not good. I think it's Matthew McConaughey who plays him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
It's not.
That sounds
I
weird.
saw
Idris
that
Elba
movie.
does a good job, but read the books. But anyway, that character is in a ton of Stephen King novels as the same name, Martin or Randall Flagg or Flag, and that character kind of just permeates the King universe. He's a really good villain in that series.
I've only seen the movie. I've never read the books, and I went and saw that movie with someone I was dating at the time, and they were distressed after that movie. They could
didn't
not
like-
recover.
Distressed in what way? Like,
Yeah.
just the performance of the movie was just so
Oh,
bad they were distressed?
They
or
hated it with every last fiber.
were they
of their
Stephen
is-
King fans?
They've read the Dark Tower series
okay.
at minimum 10 times.
Oh wow,
gosh.
okay.
Yeah, they're like a mega fan. Of
I think
that
I've
series.
I've done the core series twice, and then I've read the first 3 books probably like 7 or 8 times. The first 3 are amazing. Then the 4th one is really good, but it's really long. And then I always like hit that wall of like, I know what happens. The first
Right.
3, I'm good.
I
So-
have the books now. I just need to actually read them.
They're actually like right here. I don't know if you can see my finger, but
Oh,
I can see your
some
finger.
books.
right
Yeah,
here
yeah.
behind me.
I have. Oh, we got a new follower. I can't see it because
Heyo.
my alerts aren't working though. Thank you
Welcome,
for
new
the
Hello,
follow,
follower.
new
whoever you
follower
are.
friend.
I'm sorry.
Welcome.
Dark Tower.
I thought
They're like, I'm following after the Dark Tower talk.
I should.
I
I
watched
should help
Doctor
you
Sleep.
get sound alerts set up at some point soon.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
it, but I didn't see it pop up.
Oh, okay. I remembered a non-Marvel villain that I really like.
Ooh,
There he is. Woo!
A Rilu Volesh, who is
doesn't
from.
sound familiar.
Yeah, she is she's a incredibly powerful witch from the Wrath of the Righteous campaign.
Ah, that's right.
Ah.
Original
Yes.
Pathfinder. I haven't played the tabletop version. I've played the Owlcat TTRPG,
I haven't
Likewise.
gotten through it.
which was fantastic. It's one of my favorite games.
I love
So-
Kingmaker. Kingmaker, I backed it. Actually, oh, I'm not wearing that shirt, but I got invited to help promote it, and I was support staff, volunteer support staff at the booth at PAX before its release
That's-
many moons ago.
I still have
That's
magnets
awesome.
from that.
I started Wrath of the Righteous up not too long ago. I haven't played into it too much yet, but
It's such a fantastic. If you look at my Steam count, I have like 500 hours in it. I really like it.
Dang.
Yeah.
I love that game. I played a really cool Demon Slayer Ranger build that I just loved. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Nice.
I can't remember what class I picked.
I think it was Dread something. I don't remember, but it was like, oh man, I love that stealth ranger, teleport and sneak attacks. Boom.
The one run that I attempted, still haven't gotten through. I was aiming for the swarm. What's it called? I should know this. The worm that walks.
Yeah.
Because I have an obsession with that old school adventure
It's-
campaign from 3rd edition.
That
and,
one's really rough to get into.
yeah, I've heard. I've
Yeah.
heard and read about it, but I just like the idea. It's just so Cthulhu-esque, and it just sounds so fucking badass. Like your soul just becomes so evil and foul, becomes subsumed and consumed by worms, and you're just this walking swarm, this entity that just wants to eat and consume. Like I have I don't know. I love
Ew.
playing Zerg. I play Tyranids in Warhammer. Like just the all-consuming fury of bugs is it calls to me for some reason. Swarms and hordes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Story-wise, really, I mean, they did patch it and made it better. Really, the only one that kind of suffers in terms of story is the Devil Path. The Demon is fantastic. The Devil Path is kind of weak, unfortunately, even though thematically it's very cool.
yeah, I wonder why. It's probably hard to. Is it just because it's hard to translate that to CRPG form, or you talk about narratively?
In terms of the game, like I said, I didn't play the tabletop, I played the CRPG.
Right.
But yeah, also like one of my favorite characters in it is this fantastic cookie-loving fairy dragon,
Oh yeah.
and you have to do bad things if you go the path of the Azada to get to the devil, and I couldn't do it with the path of the Azada.
Cool. Well, let's
Yeah.
let's jump into it. Yeah, we'll get through the recap and attempt to live by the die and die by the
Die by the die.
God damn it, that was worse this week. Y'all are fired.
Oh, my bad. I was very distracted because I opened up the Foundry and Bertrand's circle is glowing.
Oh, is it?
Oh, I clicked on Panache
Yeah,
to
you
see
can
if something would
refresh.
work, and then it was like did this whole crazy thing.
I thought you were on fire, and I was like, I haven't even done anything yet. You shouldn't be on fire.
I
I'm
also
not gonna lie, the whole die by the die thing, I was so behind I didn't even attempt because I would have made it way
Same.
worse.
I also didn't do my
That would've-
normal prompt.
Yeah.
So
It would have
half
been
the
die
magic
by
of
the
it.
die, by the die, by the die, by the die.
An echo effect is pretty cool.
True. Especially when it's unintentional.
Like-
I need to commission some metal artists to.
The Star Wars Minute bit is that they always say, "See you next time on the Star Wars Minute," and they never say it in tandem after doing probably thousands of episodes at this point.
We need like a cool metal intro and for our stream.
All right,
I like
let's
the
jump into
intro
this
that we
recap.
get.
Okay.
Recap us, bro.
Osprey Cove locals, Sif and Bertrand became entwined with a couple of waylaid travelers, Fen and Faradir, who were on the way to handle some business in the neighboring town of Iron Harbor. A tremendous storm brought them to port here, with the captain and crewmate finding significant damage to the ship. Sif, Bertrand, Faradir, and Fen found themselves at the end of a toast before a dying man was thrust in front of them by Elder Johadia. stuck with a poisoned crossbow bolt, racked with a strange disease, and armor covered with rust, he perished in front of their eyes. Elder Ordwy realized this man was from Iron Harbor and asked the party to accompany her to investigate the man's death, as well as begin talks with representatives of the city in an attempt to end an decades-long cold
Too
feud
soon.
with
Too
the
early.
sister city. Tongue twisters be twisting the tongues, bro.
Don't you be twisting my tongue.
Oh.
Along the way, they were ambushed by a Darrow woman and her centipedes, hiding on a ledge above.
You take this back? You take it back?
Doing great.
They were hiding on a ledge above their heads, and were covered in an amalgamation of brush and a cloak that you assumed was from another Darrow companion. She feigned surrender, only to find death by the hands of the group. After a brief rite of passage, the group continued toward Iron Harbor. There you found an old fishing hut with a canoe, or I guess it was a boat, not really a canoe, but enough to fit 4 people at least. And a little bit closer to the town, you met a man named Daryl Finnick, who had been squatting among 3 unfinished mansions on the outskirts of Iron Harbor. This region of this area was dubbed the Gold Ruins. Daryl had been squatting there for some time, and Fairder came to the realization that this was his original destination. This was his client's property that had been abandoned. Daryl claimed he had been hired as an architect for the buildings by a noble family of Valdemars, but was abandoned by them for reasons he's not aware of. Or was told. I guess that would make him not aware also. But regardless, you found that he was considered an outcast by locals and found better company among the winds and ghosts that haunted these buildings. He offered a prize left over from the Valdemars if they allowed him to return to Osprey Cove with them, and offered them a place to stay as he was missing company, and showed off his Steve sculptures. The group then moved closer to the city, only to be met by a large armored woman. I just mentioned the Steves once in Dylan's
Dude,
face.
I don't know why. It is so funny to me. So silly. It's so funny.
Sculptures of Steves.
Oh, what the hell? There's a quest.
Yeah, there's a quest log. I haven't filled it in yet, but feel free to fill it in yourself. I think you should have the ability to.
It's all right here.
You were met by a large armored woman, wielding an intimidating glare and a 2-handed greatsword. She questioned you all immediately, and wanted to know why you were approaching from the west. Nobody comes from the west. And deciding this was the best time to do it, Ordwy, against your guys' better thoughts, stated frankly that you all were from Osprey Cove and that she was an elder, and it kind of turned this woman's attitude, and she introduced herself then as Vanda. Then she asked, Ordwy mentioned the man that died in her pub, the Tub. Vanda said that would have been a man by the name of Brother Blanton. And she said that he had grown quite ill, and they were trying their best to care for him, but he became violent and ran for whatever reason. They'd been looking for him, but had no idea that he was even able to make it to Osprey Cove. From there, she asked that Elder Ordwy alone come with her to Stonehome, the place of worship to Gorham, and home to Gormites and Lord Ragnulf, the local authority of everything to do with Iron Harbor here. For whatever reason, she just wanted Ordwy alone to leave you guys behind to kind of fend for yourselves in Iron Harbor. Ordwy, sensing something was off, was like, let me talk to you guys real quick, and then I'll go off. And she sensed that something was wrong. Something was very strange. She noticed that Vanda seemed very surprised to find out about Brother Blanton, and that the ship in the harbor means something as well. And she asked for you guys to investigate and to be discreet as she went off with this Gormite named Vanda. And she took off, and that's where we left the last episode. So you guys are standing there on the road watching Sister Vanda walk away with Elder Ordwy. Let me switch the maps real quick so you can get an idea.
Does anyone think that Vanda lies?
Boo. I'll take your
Maybe.
Give me your obol. I'll take that.
Wait, was that a reference?
No, vandalize, like the word vandalize.
Oh, okay. I've been up
think-
since 5, so it's gonna be
That was the
Deception.
joke there.
All right, so
That's
here we
2
are.
a.m.
The Cove,
California time.
The Cove of Osprey. No, sorry, the Cove of Iron Harbor. The Cove of Osprey. I have not been up since 5, but I'm very tired. So you guys are standing there just on the outskirts of Osprey Cove. You were given directions by Vanda to visit this red-roofed inn said to be owned by a proprietor by the name of Elsie. You needed a place to stay, rest, find respite. I'll say that as you guys are kind of like pondering what to do next, the fog and clouds kind of clear enough, and you can see maybe just to the south where you were hearing the loud crashing of waves against this island here in the middle of the cove. Is it not clicking? Do the click. You can kind of make out what you think might be Rusthenge.
Oh.
An orange Stonehenge.
Kind of. Sure. Yeah.
Someone put Cheerios on my map.
Yes, you see the 7 spiky spikes that are iron spikes that are
7.
rusted out and pointing out and far above the island there. And as the fog kind of rolls over, you can clearly see that this ship here. Oh, I'm pinging the wrong page again. This ship here has. Now that you're closer, you can see that it's got the crest and symbols of Zin Adasserol.
Ooh.
What are you guys talking about? What are you doing?
What time of day is it?
It's taking you most of the day to get here, so I'll say it's probably approaching dusk.
Are we familiar with Sin Adasra? Is that common knowledge, or is that like a lore check?
It's common enough for you as locals, being at least Bertrand, you've been there long enough to hear the concerns about Zinadasserol and their sudden pop-up and re-emergence and claim to the area and surrounding regions. But it's basically a Thessalonian kingdom. that's
Gotcha, okay.
re-emerged. And Ordwy had significant concerns about the taxation and them going past that at some point, crossing the line beyond taxation and
The
actually
tax man.
having more of a footprint and hold over the Kindred Coasts and the Iron Archipelago, in which Chakakov Isle is a part of.
Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah, basically.
Tax
They've just been like kind of paying the tax and then like, yep, okay, we paid, now go away. We don't like this, but
Yep, and that's kind of been the deal so far. But any moment that could change.
yep.
I think as the kind of like the fog passes and we catch sight of Rusthenge, just kind of look at everybody else and
Delro did say that he's been there. When we saw the boat, we discussed possibly making it that way. We can see how he traveled then. Get an idea if the tide. Well, Bertrand, you said the tide was easy enough to travel through, but we can talk to a man who's been there. Assuming it's reliable, considering his companions are ghosts and various versions of Steve.
Don't forget Lady Steve.
I almost think I trust Lady Steve more than I trust Daryl himself at this point. But
I'm not sure I trust Daryl at all.
well, also that's you're not wrong. But
It's
I think
also-
if we are going to head that direction, we may want to get more information about this Rusthenge. From what Daryl was saying, it did not sound like it was the safest place to be.
And all the rumors that we've heard as well over in Osprey, it's... Well, it just confirms what Daryl said.
You did mention that they took a giant crate out there as well. Be interested to see what might be in there.
That has struck my curiosity.
I love crates. I like looking inside of them, finding out what they contain. But
Full of crabs.
like Fen said, should try to gather some more information to figure out how we might get out there to the Isle.
Yes, maybe at the local tavern.
The Red Roof Inn?
You can find many suspicious things at the Red Roof Inn and information about such things.
Have any of you been to a Red Roof Inn?
Maybe.
I worked by one, and there was sketchy shit there every frickin' day.
I didn't know that was a real thing.
Yeah, it's like a,
Yeah,
That's a
that's a real
very
hotel
real
chain.
thing.
Isn't it like a step up from a Motel 6 or something?
I don't know if it's a step up, but it's related.
It's a ladder
I
step,
like-
maybe.
I like Motel 6.
Ugh.
I've never
Stay
had
away
pleasure
from the
staying
Super
there.
8.
Yeah, I've heard
I've definitely
that too.
stayed in Super 8s. Best Westerns.
Yeah,
Best
no.
Westerns not bad.
Red Roof, the two that I have been near, the one back home in I won't say where, Ohio, was known for potentially being a prostitution ring,
Oh, gosh.
and then the one
That's
I worked
crazy.
next to,
We're in Ohio? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
the one I worked next to,
Show us on the mitten
where
of
I am
Ohio.
now, the mitten of Ohio
Yeah.
is like.
Yeah. Big bread shaped.
The one nearest me where I worked by it, there was always a cop car, like, doing some sort of, like, surveillance there. And at least 3 days out of the 5 at work, there was something going on there. So, ooh, they're rough. Rough.
I'll take your word
But-
for it.
But nonetheless, this Red Roof, maybe we should go into.
Fonda said it was run by Elsie. I didn't quite catch it.
I believe LC is correct.
Elsie.
Like the letters L, C.
That
If you ever
makes
watched
sense.
The Hills. Don't know why that came to my mind. Did not watch The Hills.
Yes, definitely could use a drink. I'm quite parched.
Especially after this long trip. Pint might be just what we need.
I would not say no. Now let's move our Gandalf Lord of the Rings token over to the Red Roof.
I was just gonna
noticed.
say, who's who in this picture?
I'm. I don't want to say because that'll give up too much.
Okay.
I almost said it. I almost said it.
Yeah.
You almost got me.
All right, you guys, can you control the token or no? I think I set permissions.
maybe.
I could. Oh, nope.
Oh,
lack
I
permission.
can. I
Yeah,
can.
there we
No,
go.
I don't. I can't.
Oh, I can't. Never mind.
It
Yeah, I
says
can
we
drag
can.
a line off of it.
It
but-
looks like
yeah.
you can,
It
but
let-
then you
yeah.
try.
It's false hope.
Yeah.
You're not going to the Red Roof Inn tonight. Sorry.
Do not pass go.
Do not
Yeah.
pass go. Do not collect questionable content.
Come on, you son of a bitch. Why aren't you doing your thing? All right.
I see like a bunch of pending lines.
I
still.
do love all the chaotic lines that are
Yeah,
happening
I don't-
currently.
God damn it, how would I clear that?
I think those are our lines. If we click, they'll go away.
Alt F4, right?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I
All right,
when
so
in doubt.
you guys
Alt
are
F4.
making your way to the Red Roof Inn, yeah?
That
Correct.
reminds me of my Diablo 2 days. Me and my brother teaching people how to duplicate items.
I used to do that back in the day with D2.
Just drop
Gotta
it.
get those perfect skulls, man.
Just drop it and hit Alt F4.
I did that with Maple Story to get people out of my server
Oh,
so I
gosh.
could more effectively farm.
That's funny.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
so as you guys are approaching the Red Roof Inn, you can clearly see that this gigantic building here that I'm painting with the black it looks to be some sort of dry dock. There are bits and bobs and pieces of boats every which way
Cool.
underneath the awning there. It's over the beach. You might see or catch sight of some boats being worked on. There's one person there, kind of like hanging out with a hammer. It's like flipping it around. Very curious.
Let's remember that, folks.
He
Keep an eye on
is-
that guy.
Just minding his own business. As you guys get a little closer, you might see across the front of the ship with the Zinadasteral crest the words "the swordfish" also written on it. You
Cool.
approach the Elsie's place with the Red Roof Inn, and you catch the scent and smell of delicious baked goods. You
Already smells better than any Red Roof Inn I've
I
ever
was just
been.
gonna say,
You
subverting
hear-
expectations.
You hear a few people kind of just laughing and chatting, and it sounds very welcoming.
Well, I suppose this is as good a place as any to grab a pint and gather information, so
Not to mention a bite of eat.
yes, that's whatever they're making in there smells wonderful.
What delicious.
Oops.
I hope it's
Yes.
crab legs.
Oh gosh.
I hope they have oatmeal.
Crab leg oatmeal specifically.
Is crab. Is
Mr.
oatmeal
Krabs.
Fairdeer's favorite food?
Just good on the stomach.
I like that voice, by the way.
He's got to have his fiber, you know. He's up there.
Yeah, let's head on in. Head up to the bar.
Sure. Yeah, you guys walk in. Very simple furnishings. It almost feels more like a dining room than it does like an inn or tavern. And as you walk in, the smell of the baked goods waft over you, and you're like suddenly hungrier than you were before. But then immediately after that, there's like a bitter, almost kind of pungent scent that almost immediately sours your hunger. That might remind you of like an apothecary, or it's very bitter. And as you kind of look around, the decor is a bit undecided about whether if it wants to be a tavern or a curio shop or an alchemist's lab. It is a mixed bag, to say the least.
So we've entered a vape shop / bakery, is what you're telling me.
Yeah,
/ potentially a dispensary.
that sounds like Rock On. That's only Robert would know what I'm talking about.
I would say I don't know what
I've-
that is,
I've
but
not
I trust
been in
you.
Rock On in at least a decade. And a
Is this
half.
still open? It's like a
It
smoke
is.
shop, tattoo parlor. They do piercings.
Yeah, they still sell those
Probably-
oversized shirts. Also
Yeah,
with all
it's the weirdest place.
That does sound very odd.
you
One of a
see,
kind.
Low shelves that line the walls. They display a staggering mix of elixirs, unguents, jars of glue, and fresh baked goods. There's cutlery, mugs, occasional smoke stick or bundle of tinder twigs. It is a mishmash of things. As you guys are kind of standing there in the doorway, you see this halfling. She, skinny, emerges from a back room, and she says, "Oh, you're new here, aren't you? Where you come from? You care for a seat?"
Oh,
Yes.
Somebody go for it. We all,
Again, at the same time. Go.
Go
we all
ahead,
just talk
face.
over each other.
Roll initiative to talk.
Nobody's talking now.
Oh, hey, we're just travelers. We've been told by Sister Vanda to come here and to hang out. So we've stopped in.
Sister Vanda, I don't know who that is.
That was the lady on the trail, right?
I don't know.
Oh, that was a
I
question to you,
I
Robert.
haven't left the building since this morning.
Oh, well, I'm gonna copy your accent now. And
Are you mocking me? That's
no,
very
it's
rude, sir.
I can't help it. It's just when I get as hungry, it smells so great in here. When it gets hungry,
Oh, you
when
care
I
for
get
some
hungry.
pastries, then. Please have a seat.
yes, sure,
When you get
perfect.
hungry, you
Yeah.
become Irish.
Yeah, I guess.
Now, did you come on a fancy ship over there from Xenodasseril, or did you float in on another weird ship when I wasn't looking?
I
We
just-
should
I
have
just look
discussed,
at
like,
Bertrand.
is this a thing that we are gonna admit to that we're from Iron Harbor, or is that what we're gonna do? Or are we just gonna wear that on our sleeve?
No.
We're in
not from
Iron
Harbor. We're not from Iron
We're-
Harbor.
We're from
Sorry.
Osprey Cove.
Oh,
You're
you're from
correct.
Osprey Cove. Well,
I didn't say that. That was above game, above table.
Yeah, we say other things below the table.
That's where my escort services are.
whose
Say,
foot is
Cody,
that?
your head's snapped.
Cody, is that your foot?
You wish it was my foot.
Yeah, I think. Are we good to say that? Are we just gonna do it?
You're leading the conversation.
I know, but I feel like we would have had a conversation as PCs outside of this, like as we walked in. Like, so are we gonna say we're from Osprey Cove? Or are we still trying to keep that on the down low?
I feel like at this point,
I don't think we can hide that because somebody might run
Yeah.
into you guys and be like, "Oh, hey, it's you from Osprey Cove." Oh, you know.
yeah, Vanda already knows,
Yeah.
and I have a feeling that
Yeah.
it's gonna spread around town
Okay.
anyway.
Yeah, we're checking out the town from Osprey Cove.
Her eyes kind of go wide. She's like, "No, you can't be.
Yeah, you're right. It's a joke.
They haven't talked to us in ages. Too busy being stuck up and being part of whatever commune and weird worship to Caden that they do, talking to birds or whatever. Bunch of weirdos, I think."
Never
Now
talked
that's
to a bird.
rude.
Where are you really from?
Well, I'm actually from Absalom originally, but
I'm the weirdo, hence my heritage.
Oh, I didn't realize. And she kind of looks up and then up again, and kind of looks you up and down. Well, nobody's perfect.
I won't hold that against you.
I'm
Could
joking. I'm
we
joking.
get a round of pastries?
Of course,
We
of
can
course,
smell
yes.
it from the streets. It smells delicious.
Absolutely. What would you have? I've got millet biscuits, bitter cheese. I've got some vegetable stew, boiled eggs.
Baker's choice.
any oatmeal by chance?
I guess that would be you then.
You not the biker?
Oh, Baker's choice. I thought you said beggar's choice. I'm so sorry. She kind of smiles sheepishly, and then I'll bring out a round of whatever I have laying about then.
Something with some alcohol in it as well, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
I'll have some milk.
Milk?
Fermented milk.
We've only got goat's milk, if that will settle with you.
Oh yes.
Are you stealing my accent too? I'm
You always
kidding.
sound.
I'm kidding. Goodbye. And she walks away.
Jeez.
He's like, that's odd.
I don't
Kind
want
of
to
rude for
say
Halfling.
I don't want to say that my prayers to Gosra are going to involve smiting this town with lightning, but they might.
She returns after a couple of minutes with millet biscuits, some bitter cheeses, and a mug of a stout ale.
Nice.
And she says, "I apologize for my humor. I guess it's I get nervous around new people."
Oh, it's okay. We don't bite.
We all have our nervous tick.
She smiles sheepishly, and kind of you feel her eyes like look over your teeth.
I grin. I grin, not exactly knowing how to deliver, so I think I over deliver.
Yeah, her eyes go a little wide. She's like, "Oh, hey, let's."
I
hope
thought
not."
about that with the baker beggar thing. Like I just imagined like the way he says baker because of his jaws came out funny, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, yes, seems
Did
like
you get the milk?
you haven't. Oh yes, of course. And she hands out everybody's drinks, ales for everyone, and a milk, and just a big pile of biscuits and cheese, mugs of stout, your milk, and yeah, she's kind of hanging around. Is there anything else I can get ya?
I don't know that there's anything else we need at this moment, but I do have a question, if you don't mind.
No, not at all. I don't get visitors, let alone from Osprey Cove.
Well, glad we can somewhat be a new experience for you. So forgive me, I am not familiar with this area, as I am not from around this part either. I am from Sandpoint originally. But Rusthenge, do you know anything about that name?
Oh yes, that old artifact down there on Thunderhead Isle.
Yes, I believe that's what we've heard. What do you know about it?
It's just a bunch of twisted, rusty metal spires left here, millennia, or 4 at least ago. It's useless. Works well as a landmark, I hear, when you're heading home from a day at sea. If you're thinking of heading up there, fair warning, place makes folks sick. Got a few doses of my special brew on hand if you're thinking of going up there, provided, of course, you'll pay for it.
Well, we have no issue paying you for such things, but your brew is counteractive to what happens there. Do you know, like, what the sickness is?
Not exactly. Well, I guess I hear some of the doctors that travel in and out call it tetanus.
Do not expect it to be a real thing. Tetanus. Well, I've never heard of it.
Yes, yes, I've got it's an excellent brew I've come up with the help of others, but it's slightly fizzy, pale and pink, but it bolsters the spirit.
How much
Yeah.
do you charge for some of this brew?
3 gold each.
Damn.
Suppose if it keeps us safe from such things, it's maybe worth the investment. Well,
Yeah. Do you have a guarantee that it works?
Absolutely. She crosses her heart, smiles. Elsie's excellent bottled vim. Will do you
Vim?
right if you head over there.
well,
Ooh.
let us think on the matter for a minute, I think.
Every tourist grabs a bottle at least. It's almost necessary. No, I'd say it is necessary.
So,
What's the best way to get over there? We've seen some, rowboats. That seem used for pedestrians. How do the locals go there? If you go there at all?
Oh, the locals don't go at all. It's usually travelers. There has been some weird activity though, lights and all that.
I'm not
Oh,
a
it's
strong
just
swimmer.
Don't worry, Faraday. We'll take a boat. Promise.
Yeah, but
Lights,
yeah,
you say, though.
strange lights. Yes, I can't remember how many days ago it was, but there were some lights there. Don't know why or what's happening.
Do you know if the big boat there from Zinazasaril was here when the lights happened? Or was that before or after the boat arrived?
It's hard to say. I think. She kind of puts her finger to her chin. I think the lights may have showed up after the boat, or was it before? I think it was after. She kind of just shrugs. Oh, that was that was the day I went to go. The day the ship arrived, I had just gotten back from Stoneholm, taking care of that little goat. Poor thing.
Tell me more about this goat. I like goats.
I like goats.
Testing out phrases in the accent.
The Gormites have
Damn.
been they've been trying to domesticate some of the local goats, and they managed to keep one, but for some reason end up getting sick with something, and I've been tending to it. The poor thing. They haven't really named it, but I've given it a name. The poor thing. Her name is Ida. She's a sweet little goat. I'm surprised she hasn't expired just yet.
I'd have named it something different. But it's thank you for that.
Oh, I see what you did.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Oh,
I understand why you didn't understand it at first.
Oh, I didn't either. I was like, what would you name it?
I'd have
why?
got it if it was better.
True, that too.
I'll stop.
Why? I don't know. Why you don't use domesticated animals. You're just now trying to use goats.
Well, they're specifically trying to domesticate the wild goats up there near Stonehome. They tend to
All right.
roam around the hills and mountains up there anyways, but they've had much difficulty. The goats are very stubborn, wild, and they don't take well to listening. So Ida was probably the most amicable of a local group of them.
Me?
Speaking of Stormhold, on our way in, we saw someone getting escorted up there. Do they usually come back?
Oh, I don't pay much attention, to be honest. It's hard to get to know all the Gormites. They tend to just stick to themselves for the most part. Self-sufficient and all that.
So, you said that in Osprey Cove, it's weird that they are so close with Caden, but you guys are specific to Gorham.
Yes, that's what Iron Harbor's built on around. The Gormites there. And she kind of gestures lazily towards the direction of Stonehome. But I wouldn't say that I worship Gorham. No.
So you keep talking about the Goramites, but is the town split 50-50? Like, there's some people that are Goramites and the other half are folks like yourself who just happen to live in Iron Harbor?
Yeah, I think it's fair enough to say that. I wouldn't say we're split on it. We appreciate everything that they've done and what they've provided here for us, a safe harbor, a place to live and stay, and they keep us safe, nonetheless. The place is definitely run by them, but we all do appreciate the stability they bring. They like to fight and think they're the best at fighting, and best people to be in charge, which seems weird to me. But it's been quiet for the last week or so. Ever since that Thessalonians showed up. God damn it. Since those Thessalonians showed up, it's been fine.
Got all southern.
The fewer Gormites on the street means less clanking armor. It's a little less annoying, but yeah, it's I'd say it's definitely not normal for them to be shut down or shut in for so long.
Do you know why what was that? The swordfish? Do you know why it showed up? We have some. Well, we've heard negative tidings of Thessalonian over in Osprey Cove. I don't know if that's shared here.
Not really.
No.
I imagine if they're taxing us, they're probably taxing Osprey Cove as well.
It's not something we look forward to. Yes.
Neither do we, to be completely honest with you. Just hope they go away. But here they are.
Have they sent out a taxman yet? They're just kind of kept to themselves then.
Oh no, they've sent a tax person. Yes. But the ship out there in the docks, that's a merchant. He and his entourage, they've been spending the last week or so in talks at Stonehome. Nobody really knows what they're up to. But it does look like some of the crew of the ship is still there. But none of them have come in to buy anything yet, which I think is just plain rude.
Oh, they should bring your business. You are the first establishment we visited upon our arrival in Iron Harbor.
Yes, and right off the dock, if you look at right outside, first place on the left.
Also, if you're keeping track of your ledger, you should be getting tax write-offs.
I don't... Tax write-offs? What are those?
This man's a barrister. He knows what he's talking about.
Just write it off.
They can't just take it all.
How does... I don't understand how this works.
Just pretend that everything that you owe them, you don't actually owe them, and just say that you wrote it off. It's how the government works.
This
When you own a business, the more money you spend, the less you give the government.
is this some kind of loophole?
And if they come for you too much, I mean, you could just stab them.
Oh, she kind of chuckles at that. Oh, little old Elsie stabbing somebody. I don't think that's me. Throwing a bomb,
don't-
though, I think I might be able to do that.
She's an
I was going to say,
alchemist.
you're feisty. I can see it.
Yeah, we were looking at all of the accoutrement throughout your establishment.
Yes, are you interested in purchasing something else?
How much would a vial of glue cost?
A vial of glue. Well, let me tell you as soon as I look that up. I will tell you at a later point in time.
Let me consult the archives of Nethys.
That's what I call my point of sale system.
I thought you were about to say something very different.
Penis. No, I was gonna say point of sale, and it was like coming out weird, so I changed it. It's like POS.
That's what I call my porn. The archives of Nethys.
Cranking it to rules.
I've got one one dose of quick patch glue, 10 gold pieces.
For glue?
It's quick patch.
What about slow patch?
I don't have anything that's quite that slow.
Do you have a bottle of Elmer's?
So there's a horse outside. We could just.
Elmer's, that's my grandfather's thing. What about horses? Ah, glue. I see.
I'm crushing it tonight.
Probably something I'll have to come back for later. I'm just wary road travelers.
If you want some kind of glue, she probably has the equivalent to like Elmer's, I guess. Nothing like super
that's-
glue or sovereign glue.
Yeah, I was looking for a stronger soul, but I mean, we're in the silvers, so
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're rich.
10 gold. What the hell?
Yeah,
It's like
100
a
silver.
2/3 of my wealth.
more than most armor.
Yeah.
Do you sell any of these bombs?
There's like grenades on the wall.
There's no grenades on the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, but she says that her most of the concoctions that you see on the shelves are glues for ship making and dyes for just about anything. Stocks of medicine.
She have like potions of healing?
She might. You asking her?
I mean, I don't think I have any gold, so no.
Do you have any healing potions?
No, I don't. If you give me a day or so, I might be able to concoct something for you.
Was that a yes or no roll that I just heard?
It was.
But
Roll
you have-
to yes.
You have but you have this tetanus shot.
I do, yes, I keep them on hand. We don't have a lot of, I guess, adventurers or folks that find themselves in harm's way often. Gormites might, but they're able to tend to themselves.
I do think it might be wise if we maybe get one or two of these. If we are to end up at this Rusthenge at some point, it's maybe worth it.
Faradir is going to roll a diplomacy check by saying, "Would you give me 2 of those tetanus shots for 4 gold?"
Don't have tetanus shots.
I just couldn't remember what you called them.
Elsie's excellent bottled vim.
Or I could even throw in. I might have something that might interest you. Actually, some giant centipede venom.
She
know.
kind of, her face like scrunches up. She's like, "What would I do with venom?"
Oh, I don't know. Seems like you've made quite a few different concoctions around here. You might think of something.
Get rid of Daryl.
Inspiration might Inspiration might strike when you least expect it. You'll be like, I need some venom right now.
You can poison the tax man.
That too.
We even have it freshly harvested.
And I'll pop out my e-file
Yeah, it
version.
says it's worth 4 gold, so I'm like,
Well,
Careful there, Fen. You're one step closer to premeditated.
I'll just pray to Gosra about it later. It'll be fine.
she's got no interest in the venom. She's no,
Sure.
But
I
I-
don't think I could. Yeah, I don't think I'd purchase that.
Faradir did roll a 19 diplomacy to try to convince her to sell me 2 for 4.
Ah, let's see if that's. Is that high enough?
I really hope a 19 at level 1 is.
I only have 1 gold.
I got this. Faradir's
You-
rich.
You have like all your money, right?
Oh, he's loaded. Yeah. He doesn't need anything. He's got magic, just to do whatever he needs. So
I have silvers.
I do have some gold.
I have a lot of gold don't worry. If I tallied up all my stuff, I'd be almost probably to 14 gold. So
Where's
he didn't spend any of it. He lives in the city, public transportation.
She says, yeah, I'd be happy to give you half off. You all seem
Oh, that's so
well
sweet.
enough.
I do appreciate it very much. You are the best Red Roof Inn we've encountered.
So 3 gold for 2.
Oh, that's even better.
And you're taking him? And she looks over to you, Faradir.
Yeah.
I could throw in a gold.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll throw 1 in.
Okay.
It's technically 10 silver, but
What should I call this?
I'm putting this into your inventory right now.
Yeah, I got 2.
There you go.
Well, because literally my thought is, in combat, if we had to, I could literally telekinetic hand that thing to somebody else. So.
So I'll read to you the description of it. So this slightly fizzy, pale drink vitalizes the body, bolsters the spirit, bringing those suffering from aches and pains brought on by illness some temporary respite. For 8 hours after drinking this elixir, reduce the value of one of the following conditions you're suffering by 1. Clumsy, drained, enfeebled, or sickened. A
That's
condition
cool.
whose value is reduced to 0 is not removed, but after 8 hours the condition returns to its original value unless its duration is expired or if it was removed by another means.
So we get 8 hours of relief.
it's like Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Pepto.
Well, that's when he was describing pink and frothy. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I see you.
Yeah. Yeah, it
That
just
didn't register
clicked.
me at first.
When I heard
No.
8 hours of relief is what clicked for me.
Upset stomach, diarrhea.
We see what you're doing, Paizo.
Faradir pulls out his
Pepto for
own bottle.
tetanus.
He's like, that's the same.
Keep that in mind. Next time I get tetanus, I'll just drink a bottle of Pepto Bismol.
You got pour it right on the wound.
Right onto it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you guys have a nice meal. Any other questions you want to ask Elsie? She's kind of bumbling around, but she'll swing by before it gets before night falls. It says, I tend to close up at nightfall. I have friends and family that I need to tend to. You're more than welcome to stay in a room if you've got the means for it. But I do plan on leaving here shortly.
Is there any area you recommend to go for a little shy for full-on lodging here?
Let's see. Hold on. No, there's really not anywhere else to stay. It sounded like you met old Daryl at Goatsfriend over there. He's always dying for company. But for
It's mean.
5 silver a night, you can sleep here on the floor.
5 silver to sleep on the floor.
Per person.
Should we go meet some ghosts?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that this town does not have more amenable housing, overnight housing.
Well, no wonder if anybody from Osprey Cove comes over.
Well, we don't get a lot of overnight stays.
Except that merchant ship.
Well, this is a Red Roof Inn. I suppose it all makes sense now that I think about it.
Is there like anybody else in here that seems interesting at all, or like that we would have maybe wanted to talk to, or it's just like,
Bertrand's gonna find himself
Sure.
another bed to sleep in.
no, I didn't know.
There's
There's no bard.
There's a handful of people in here.
But nobody seems like interested in us at all. Like, I don't think we would be like making friends or anything. I'm just curious.
I mean, people are definitely like eyeing you guys. If you want to interact with them or anybody outside, I mean, you can use the downtime activity called Gather Information while you're here, if you'd like.
At this point, I think we might as well just stay overnight with Daryl and all of his Steves.
The only thing I'd be interested in finding out is Elsie was very non-committal about when the lights were going off over the Rusthenge, whether or not the ship was here or not. So I'd like to. That's the only thing I'd really like to get clarity on.
Perhaps we can talk to either some of the folks from outside who came with the boats, or
True. I
we
guess
did see that person over at the dry dock.
Are there any other old people in there?
Sure. Yeah. There's
They're all drinking green juice and oatmeal.
I think he's gonna go like interrupt a pinochle game, and his role of society, and like see what's on the town from all the old gossipy old people.
Excuse me.
Sure. You can roll a diplomacy check. Or
Susan's been fucking crabs again.
I got a 19 society to gather information.
Secret. Don't forget.
Yes, secret. Do a secret roll instead.
Oh, damn it.
Can I
What a
just
bummer.
can I have a
God.
secret 19?
I'd probably, I think.
Whoa! Do you guys see what happens when you click on the party token?
Oh,
Pops up everybody.
That's
Oh, yeah.
neat.
Oh, look at
That's-
us.
That's neato.
learn new
Right
things
on.
every day.
The party.
There's my secret 19.
Okay. All right. So you interrupt these people's game of pinochle. It's an elderly couple. Kind of adorable.
Aw.
Pinochle is one of the games that I offer under the tape.
And what are you
I'll let
asking
you
them
figure
exactly?
that out.
You just looking to hear something from them?
I think he's just trying to hear the gossip on the town. I'm sure, these elderly people who have probably not much else to do being retired. They probably chat a lot and gossip a lot. And maybe they're out looking at the water all the time, so maybe they saw something.
Yeah. So with that, they tell you that, well, young man, I'll tell you, as a follower of Gorham, I've been very upset since that ship rolled into town. They've been shut in and won't let anybody worship. It's not right. I was one of their members many years ago. I was here when this town was founded. Now they won't let anybody in. It's terrible. And then his wife, you assume, is like, calm down, George, calm down. Young man, you see, oh wait, no.
We can only imagine what 40's like. 43.
That's the secret. Like he's secretly spry.
Right.
Yeah.
When no one's looking, he's like, "Oh right," like the guy from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Mr. Awen. No.
Yeah.
George,
Not that one.
calm down.
Different
that,
one.
That boat had a very important looking man. An entire entourage got off and followed him to Stoneholm to speak with Lord Ragnulf. The word is that he's a merchant from Zinadasrul. He's working out some kind of complicated trade agreement. We don't know much beyond that.
I think Faradir would finish his pinochle game. He said, I appreciate your time. I'm gonna go head back over and talk to my friends. You guys have a great day. And then he's going to relay that information to the party.
Someone important on the boat, closing of the town, people unable to worship. That does sit poorly with me.
People have rights.
They do indeed. And for someone to restrict the natural freedom of someone to practice their religion is
Bullshit.
does not please me.
But is there anything to do? The Thessalonians, well, they've sort of harried us with this taxman for a long time. Now this merchant, individual, politician, something. My concern is that they're in Stonehelm at the same time that Aldrich is. So hopefully she doesn't get caught up in whatever business this is.
It's a very good point.
Does seem to be some sort of connection there, and it does worry me now that we know more of the political scape.
I think Faradir would turn back to this halfling and see if he sees her and ask her, excuse me, miss, what's the local sheriff in town? Where can I find him in the morning?
Her eyes kind of like, she smirks and looks at her. Sheriff, in a town founded by Goramites? You find anybody equivalent to that in Stoneholm. They run the town. Lord Ragnoff, I suppose, would be the closest thing to a sheriff.
Well, I demand an audience.
You have to take it up with them. Good luck getting in.
Good luck storming
Have
the
to go knock
castle.
on the door.
Yeah, exactly. Elsie, why are you here? Did everyone from the ship go into Stonehelm? Is there some people still on the boat? Some other people left in town, or that it's just all for one inside Stonehelm?
No, it looks like they left. I believe the captain walked off the ship with the merchants, and they left some of the crew there on the ship to await their return. I've seen them fishing off the side of the boat, but they actually haven't set foot on the dock at all.
It's quite rude.
A few people I know have said that they are quite rude. Talking to them, they seem to want nothing to do with us, and even insofar as calling some of the passerbys rubes, idiots. Don't care for those kinds of words. We're hard-working people here in Iron Harbor.
That is distasteful.
Very much so.
And you thought we were bad from Osprey Cove?
I'd say that's the kettle calling the pot black.
She nods.
Could I do
sounds-
a secret diplomacy check to try to gather information just on that light bit that I was curious about?
Sure.
See if somebody else saw the lights and if it was after or before the ship arrived. I'm
Sure,
wondering
good.
if that crate landing on the island is what caused the lights. And I am vamping until I find my skills. There it is. I found it. It's a blonde GM roll. There it is. I think
I got
to
it.
come out.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I didn't see the die.
All right. So let's see here. That's not where I need to be.
Excuse me, sir. Notice you're sitting here minding your own business. I hate to interrupt.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is probably a bad roll. I have a question for you, sir.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the lights? So
for you.
now let me ask
sir.
this, please.
Puts his finger hard into your chest. He says,
Fuck me.
"Buy me a beer."
Shit, how much is a pint? It'll see.
She says,
Shit.
2 copper.
That's expensive, but I'll buy this man a drink. And now, please, just let me ask my question before you. Here's your beer.
Go ahead.
Um,
Ask away.
Did you ever notice any lights above Rusthenge? Out above Thunderhead Isle?
Have I? Let's see. Have I? Have I? Nope.
He's vamping until he knows his role.
Yeah. Bertrand like breaks away and makes eye contact with Elsie and is like,
no
"What the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this guy?"
Faradir
No
would
lights. Yeah.
hop in.
Yeah, I hear you from Mossburg Cove. Really? You?
No, I'm not. I'm from Epsilon. It's a
you can't lie to
misconception.
me. I know now. You're from Mossburg Cove.
Well, listen to how I speak. I sound quite different than anybody you've ever heard talk, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know how those folk in Mossburg Cove sound.
no.
You sound like somebody from Mossburg Cove. If I were to ever imagine somebody being from Mossburg Cove, it sound like you. And he points his finger hard into your chest again.
Oh man, I want to just waste an hour doing this, but
My mom
Dear.
says you talk to birds and things. Is that true?
What?
I'd like to talk to birds. No, I wouldn't. I'd rather talk to rams. Rams would be fun to talk to. They're strong.
I think Faradir is gonna want to roll a diplomacy check, and he's gonna say, "I'll buy you another beer on the circumstances you finish that one right now."
Oh, this one, it's done.
He had a beer and talked the whole time, so I didn't imagine there was much time to drink it.
Talented ventriloquist, really.
yeah, what's your name, man? I got your accent now too. God damn it. What's your
You broke him. You broke him out of the Australian.
Oh man, what's his name?
My name is, you can call me, Jimpipe.
Jimpipe.
Jimpipe
Alright.
Thin.
Thin?
Yeah, Jimpipe Thin.
That's quite a name,
Some of them
mate.
call me the Thin, but I ain't thin. You know what I'm talking about?
I can see that you just the beer. You should lay off the beer.
He's I kind of want to describe what he looks like now. He,
Please.
squat, little rotund, but he's got like a rotund in like a dad bod way. Like he's all upper body. He's got chicken legs. And that's why they call him thin. He's got thin legs. He-
Oh my god.
he's balding at the top, and he's got like very little black thin hair around his sides and back of his head, and he's wearing this stupid like newsboy's cap that's too small for his head. His
Okay.
eyes are way too big for his face, and he's got like this bulbous nose and like a scraggly like shaved. Looks like he hasn't shaved in a few days, and it's just like pockmarked,
Ugh.
stubbly. That's the word, stubbly.
This man definitely belongs at the Red Roof Inn.
I would have picked a different person to ask if I'd hit that description to begin with, but
I'd talk to
Secret
rams
role.
if I could. They're strong like me.
what do you do around these
I-
parts?
I help Berger over there at the dry dock.
What's his name?
Berger. His name's Berger there at the dry dock.
Merger?
Berger. Like Berger, but with a B.
Perfect.
Burger.
Does he like to flip hammers around?
Flip hammers. Yes, if you see him, so you know him. Tell him I'm not here right now. If you see him, tell him I'm home. Sleeping,
Tell him
not
you're off talking to a ram.
drink. Yeah, you know what I like to do with rams?
I don't want to know.
I like to follow them up on the hills above Stonehome, and sometimes I'll sit with them, and they'll sit with me, and we'll watch the Gormites do fight, practice. It's kind of cool.
That does sound very cool. Could you tell us where to go, where to see that?
Up on the hills behind Stonehome over there, watching them fight. They're strong like rams. I like hearing the swords clash.
This guy tops Daryl, which is I didn't think was gonna happen immediately the next episode after Daryl. Oh God. Well, Jimpipe. It's
Jimpipe. Look, yeah, you know.
no, I understand. I got it. Well, enjoy your beer, and Faraday got you another one. So, if we have any more questions, you're the first person we're gonna come talk to. So,
I can't understand what you're saying to me.
Fair enough. Have a
Bless
good night.
you.
Goodbye. Just leaves.
Are
And
you
he walks
sure
back
that's
to the
the
party
first
like,
person?
what the fuck?
Are you sure that's the first person we want to come back to?
No, I'm just trying to just tell him to fuck off, basically. It's crazy, bitch.
Bye.
Bye.
Maybe.
This dude is so funny.
Maybe we could go up on the hill over the stone place and do some surveillance.
Do we want to do that as night falls, or do we want to take some rest?
It brings a good question. Should we stay here?
That's unfamiliar territory. Though, I won't lie, I have a keen interest in... a curiosity in these ghosts, and Darrow was an entertaining figure.
Yes, I
Though
feel
if
like
we
I
do
would
go,
rather sit
well,
there.
yeah. We're bound to hear... we're bound to learn a lot about Steve.
And Lady Steve. More than we'd like to know, I bet.
All the variations of Steve. All the colors of the rainbow of Steve.
Yeah, can you paint with all the colors of the Steve? Let's. Yeah, I think staying with Daryl's the best bet. I mean, we might learn a lot, and it'll help Faraday with his investigation, build the case against him to throw him out on his ass, even though he's quite a nice guy.
And, I mean, Elsie confirmed the lights, which Darrow said, so we know that some, at least, of what he says is true.
Quite
Though what
right.
parts we can trust and what parts we can't, I don't know.
It's yet to be
And-
seen.
At the Valdemar Manor, that should give us the best sight of the Rusthenge.
True.
That's true.
Well, I think it's maybe worth going back to Daryl when we decide to make camp. But before that, I think
Yeah.
it may benefit us to go to the dry dock to meet this Berger fellow.
I agree. Just wanted to make sure it's the right. We are all on the same page before we just make a plan with Elsie. So
I'd rather not waste silver to sleep on the floor.
I
Um,
I,
agree.
Rather just sleep outside at that point.
that would be
Fine.
about half of my fortune, so I would prefer not.
If I'm paying a whole silver, I'm sleeping in a bed.
Exactly my thought. I've slept in the wild for years. If I'm going to spend money to sleep somewhere, it's better be in the bed.
Right, yeah, exactly. I come with a natural blanket.
This is true.
We can all
The
cuddle
person
up.
that plays me also does.
Perfect. Well, let's make our way over and talk to BJ. You all right with it, mates?
Lead the way.
All right. Thanks, Elsie.
How much did it take to tally up with Elsie for the food and the drink?
I'll just say, call it a solid gold piece between all of you. So just 1 gold.
This town is fucking
A
expensive.
gold piece?
What am I in California?
Sorry, I was miscounting.
What is it? How much I bought? I know that I bought thin. I bought thin beer.
We'll call it 3 copper between all.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I'll
A
throw
fair
in a
deer will
copper.
cover. Okay.
Sorry,
Oh, fair, go for it, Faraday.
Yeah, he'll cover. He'll.
Money bags over here.
Yeah, he's like, oh, 3 copper. That's it, huh?
Do you have change for this platinum piece?
He's essentially our sugar daddy.
I
Yeah,
do
with the
have. I still, even after buying those elixirs or the bottled Vim, I still have 10 gold, so equivalent to 1 platinum.
Oh wow! Don't tell her that.
Yeah, prices just went up.
Don't tell anybody in that town that. Especially not the tax man.
We're gonna get robbed.
Yep.
Daryl robs us.
I have a feeling the tax man's name is the IRS, and we do not want to deal with him.
So you guys are heading over to Berger's at the dry dock.
Yeah.
Yes, a large building here.
Oh, it's orange.
It is. Oops. Make your way.
As we're going over there, are all these other buildings just like houses, or there's
Yeah.
no other like establishments?
There is. Yeah, I mean, there's a few places, but nothing as extravagant as Elsie's. Everything else kind of looks like family homes or like groups of families living together, multifamily homes.
Got it.
People kind of just outside minding their own business, kind of giving all of you the eye as you walk past, especially Sif.
Smile and wave, smile and wave.
How rude.
I try to smile, but I just do that weird fang
Yeah.
thing that dogs do, you know?
Yeah, like dogs. I know, like dogs will be like looking like they're growling, but they're just making a face
Right.
and like making sounds, but they're actually happy. You know.
That's the dog. My roommate's dog, Molly. She does that all the time.
To a
Especially when-
stranger, you think it's gonna kill somebody.
Well, to be fair, when Molly's outside being walked, she might actually kill somebody. But in the house, if she does it, you know it's a good thing.
So, it is an open building. This the largest building that maybe Sif has seen. It looks like it's big enough to hold two of the boat from Adastrial, but it is completely empty. Nothing is up on the I don't want to call them stilts, but I guess stilts. I don't know the technical terms for stuff in dry docks, but you see
Lift.
a man kind of
And
just
boat legs.
boat
Boat
legs.
Go all the way up.
They're not as far as Ordwy's. They you see
None
a
do.
man. He looks like this. Where's his thing?
Bet he looks like a BG.
He doesn't look like this at all.
Sentient burger.
Yeah, exactly. It's just H. John Benjamin.
Right, exactly. McDouble appears on screen. In-N-Out burgers appear on screen to make it more thematic.
What the hell's going on? Work, damn you.
I've still never had.
We got some coming to Washington now.
Nice.
Or if you
Yeah.
ever make your way out to California, between three of us, we'll make sure you get some.
Truly.
I would hope so at that point.
You see this man.
This guy's got a hammer and sickle on his
Yeah.
on his chest right there.
I
Coming.
like him. He's
It's
a
the perfect
communist.
time.
It's communism.
Ship
Hold that
communism.
Is
Ship
that the symbol for
communism.
ship communism?
Yeah,
Communism.
It's I think it's an anchor and flag.
yeah, ship communism. Oh, there you go. Nice, Cody.
That or he was like in the Navy or Marine Corps or something.
Yeah.
He hears you guys walking up, and it looks like he was maybe organizing some tools or something. But then he approaches and he says, "Oi, what are you doing in my draw dog?"
Just taking a look around.
Can I help you with something?
Maybe. You BG?
Do you have a boat for me to work on?
That's the thing. I've been looking for a boat for myself to work on for quite a while. I thought you might have a good lead.
I wish I had a boat to sell or to work on in the first place. Look, if you don't have any business here, then leave.
What? I like your vest. What's that insignia there?
Ship communism.
Hell yeah, brother. And he like does the salute of ship communism, whatever that is.
Does it too?
Yeah, I don't know. We do the secret handshake.
Trying to think of how to make a hand puppet boat.
Yeah, right.
Just shadow play. Is it-
Exactly.
Well, like
Which one of you is the ship and which is the duck?
we heard from Jimpipe that the what were we gonna come talk to him about? I don't remember now.
I honestly
Oh.
think we were gonna ask him.
Just about the shit that's going on?
Yeah, more or less. Like,
Okay,
about
yeah.
the lights. Does he remember any of that?
Sorry, I don't have business for you with the boat, but I was just curious if you've seen the lights over Stonehenge. Stonehenge?
Close enough.
Rusthenge?
No, I haven't.
Do you hear people talking about that? It seems quite strange.
People talk a lot of things. People say a lot of things. People are idiots.
You're not wrong. You talking about me, though?
Shrugs.
Fair enough. I don't know you either. Well, what do you think about these Zinadasrol people here? We're not fans. Just trying to gauge the local pulse on the matter.
I wish they'd fall into the sea forever and never return.
Then you might not be able to work on their boat.
They take care of themselves. If they did need work on the boat, I'd be more than happy to, but they're not paying me or anyone else in this town. Instead, they're locked up in Stoneholm, wasting everybody's time.
Do you follow Quorum?
I guess I have to.
What do you mean you
Forced
have
religion. You have rights,
I don't,
you know.
I don't have to.
He's right.
I didn't mean it like that. It's just it's you know. Everybody here's a Goemite.
I
I
feel like
understand.
I feel like this city might have a law enforcement group that's specifically focused on the greater good.
The greater good.
That's the kind of vibes I'm getting.
The greater
Yeah.
good seems to be more or less aligned with Gorham, more so than anything else.
Are you trying to win the Village of the Year contest?
Look, if you got no business here, ask that you leave.
Well, does anybody have any business?
I feel like this man is being very dodgy for no actual good reason.
We
Can we
all
do-
four strangers that approached him at night.
Is it night?
Yeah, we're just like,
That
hey,
does, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
What you doing in your dry dock, bro? You seen any lights out there?
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But like, this man is very antagonistic for no true reason. It'd be one thing if he were like, "Hey, bitch, we came to get your taxes," but we're just strangers who don't really know the lay of the land. I don't know. Maybe it's just who I am as a person, but this man is very hostile, and I'd rather him just get tossed into the sea at this point.
I feel like he'd be casted by Bradley Cooper.
I can see that.
Possible.
Alright, so he seems very tense, and he's been very terse with you all.
He's got a stick up his butt, that's for sure. He's
I'll-
got bees on it.
I'll try and calm him down and just be like, "Hi, mate. We're not trying to be hostile here. We're just we're from Osprey Cove. I'll just be straight up. And one of our partner group that we travelled here with has been taken to Stoneholm. We're just trying to find out what's going on here. Somebody showed up from here in our town, and we're here trying to bridge the gap and find out what we can to make sure everybody's safe. That's all we're
Okay.
trying to do here."
Go ahead and roll a secret diplomacy check.
Perfect. And can we like look around, like do a general perception while we're in here? I don't know if you already have just
Sure.
passive perceptions
I
for
have.
us going
if you
on.
guys are looking for anything specific, just let me know.
I don't. Yeah, I don't
But,
really
uh,
have anything specific. So
Go ahead and roll that.
Any documents?
Not out in the open that you can see. You can imagine there's probably like a smaller office area somewhere in this gigantic building, but you'd have to
I think
take a look
Faradir
around,
would
walk
like
around
to
a bit.
aid, but I want to roll an aid check with a deception, and I want him to. He would say, it says, "Yes, I'm only here to see how our friend is doing." That's a lie.
Your friend being Ordwy?
Yeah,
Mm,
he's just following up on what Bertrand said. Is that what he said?
In a roundabout way.
yeah,
yeah.
just trying to find out what's going on here.
Yeah, he's just trying to do a deception roll to aid
Okay.
Bertrand.
He kind of just ignores what you're saying, Fairdeer, and he kind of just, he's been staring at Bertrand almost unblinkingly as you're talking. And the whole time he's kind of like, he's got like his little shipwright's hammer on his hilt and tool belt, and it's kind of, maybe he's been like fiddling with it a little bit, but he stops and kind of looks at you and he says, "Look, I'm sorry. Things have been very hard for me for a while here. And, having the merchant here has not made anything better. Haven't had a customer or boat or even a lumber shipment in God knows how long."
I thought there was a shipment recently over to the island. Was that not a shipment of supplies?
I don't know. The merchants brought whatever they had on their ship over there. Nobody really knows what it was. It looks like they set up a camp or something too. I don't
No
know.
supplies for the citizens. You should be in uproar.
No, but I know they took some supplies to Stoneholm with them as maybe a peace offering to Lord Ragnolf, but nobody really knows what's going on. They've been locked up in Stoneholm for at least a week. Who knows what they're doing at Rusthenge?
You said they set up a camp. Where's that? We've heard they've all been inside.
Yeah, there's a tent over there or something. You can kind of see it. It's hard to make out, but it's there.
Can you point to it?
He points to the direction of the Thunderhead Isle.
Oh, it's out on the isle. Oh, shite. Well, I do
If you
empathise
squint,
with.
You can see it.
Yes, we might have to wait till the sun comes back up in the morning, but I do empathise with you, and I'm sorry that it's been slow. I understand how it can be. If I guess since you have to pray to Gorham, I would say pray.
No, I don't have to. I choose to, actually.
Well,
Just being
I,
indifferent to you all.
that's fair. We all strangers. We just four random people walked into your business right when you're closing your doors. Again, we're just trying to figure out what's going on, and we meant no harm.
Yeah, nobody really knows. And I have heard of folks talking about lights in or around Rusthenge, but nobody knows what that's about. I haven't seen them myself, though, so I can't confirm. Do you plan on doing something about this? Who are you people?
We have to.
Really from Osprey Cove?
Fucking heroes, mate.
In a sense, we are from Osprey.
Like you
Yes.
said, fucking heroes.
You said it yourself, bitch. We're the guardians of the galaxy.
We have a crab woman to save.
Yeah, we're really from there. Not two of us, not originally. Three of us, actually. Only one really is, but
I give kind of like a weak wave and my misplaced grin.
Says, are they all like you?
What do you mean, like you?
No.
Not human. Do you talk to birds?
what's that bit?
I do a little bit
understand.
of whistling and I kind of stop and look inside.
But do you talk to goats?
Shakes his head, no. I know, Jimpipe has a weird obsession with them, though. Goats and rams up there on the hills. He talks to them. I don't think they talk back, though.
I'm really into goats and bows.
Alright. Anything else you want to ask this dude?
I think
Yeah.
we pissed him off.
No, I think I actually have one more thing I want to ask him about.
Please.
So, one last thing, and we will get out of your hair, so to speak. Do you know this man Darrow by chance nearby?
Good call.
He squints, he says, yeah, he lives there, hermit. I think he said he's an architect. Kind of shrugs. Like, I've never really talked to him myself. I've only heard that through other means that he claims to be an architect and was abandoned there at those homes there on Gold's Ruin.
I see. So not many people seem to know him. Actually, sorry, I thought of one last thing, but it would be of interest to you. If we would happen to come by a small boat that needs repaired or something of that effect, how much would it cost us potentially to have you fix it?
It really just depends on the repairs that need to be done. You have a boat that needs repairs, he kind of like, his eyes kind of widen, he's like, hopeful now. It's very hopeful that you have work for him.
We may have one that we found recently. At some point, I'm sure we'll need to get out onto the islands.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we may have one for you. It's small. It's not a large boat, but it's nonetheless is something that we could pay you for.
I'd have to see it before I could give you any kind of idea what it would cost.
Fair enough. Trying to think of the best way to bring it to you or have you look at it, because I don't know that this will make the trip from where we found it.
I've got a boat I could tug along with it.
But that is something to consider.
Sorry. That was a great question. I was just thinking along that same lines. Oh, it reminds me that I'm not going to bring up the hut. I don't want to ask about that. I guess the only way out to the island is with a boat. There's no other way.
You could try wading across the peninsula there. It can be shallow, but I don't think it's ever shallow enough for you to walk across.
Not with global warming.
What's that? What's global warming?
The ice caps are melting. I don't know. Some guy handed me a flyer about it a while back.
The ice walls are melting.
All right. Well, yeah, I think we'll be back here. Might try and find that boat. See if it's have you give it a little checkup, and yeah. Thank you for your time again. Sorry to bother.
This is yeah. I'll be more than happy to take a look at the boat. Just let me know where and when.
Yes, we shall perhaps talk with you again in the morning. If not the morning, very soon.
He nods.
All right. So I'm assuming we make our way out of there and head back to Daryl? Question mark.
Yeah, Sif has awkwardly stepped away because he's just been like he was interjected in the conversation very briefly. So as soon as the opportunity arises, he just kind of steps back.
I like to imagine every time Sif does his awkward smile, he has that problem that dogs have, where their like lips get stuck on their teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had stopped for. Oh, I guess we did stop for a drink, but maybe it wasn't enough.
Dried his mouth out even more.
Yeah, he's like eating the pastry, trying to get it out.
Cool.
Okay, so you guys head back to Gold's Ruin, and by the time you get there, it is nighttime. Nighttime. You can see a campfire coming from within.
Can't see very well in the dark.
Oh, not too far to go now, at least.
And Daryl hears you guys approaching, and he greets you all. Kind of motions for you to come into this open air ruin. And he says, what was his voice again? I can't remember. Daryl.
I know this problem so well.
He didn't have a southern accent.
No.
No,
I think it was more.
it was more piratey.
Old Daryl's here. Hello. Welcome back to my
Pretty-
home.
It's pretty good. Pretty close.
How did Iron Harbor treat you?
It was a mixed bag, but we got there eventually. The Red Roof Inn was the most decent place there, which is odd considering it's a Red Roof Inn.
They play a mean pinochle there.
You got took.
Peanut. I'm not familiar. What's that?
Depending on who you ask, that varies the definition.
Yeah. You both start explaining very different things.
You see when you
I
get
have no
your
idea
knuckles peed on.
What pinochle is? I just know my grandmother plays at the home she lived
I have
in.
no
So
idea either.
Oh, I thought this was like some obscure like Pathfinder game
Oh
that
no, it's a.
I mean, I don't know.
List.
I know so it's a game.
Never heard of this game.
My grandmother lives in an assisted living facility, and she plays pinochle with the other members.
Sabak.
Sabak.
Oh, it's spelled wildly differently too.
Yeah, you see, he's got next to nothing in this little home at the center. The other two buildings are much more unfinished than this one. This one has at least 4 walls that 4 walls and a window, and you see he's got ramshackle like furniture. He's got like a little stone or a little wooden bench that he can kind of sit on and fish from. Very minimal.
There's something to be said for your minimalism, Daryl. Curious, as we are staying with you, do you think we will meet any of the ghosts tonight?
He says, well, you might. If you're lucky enough, they'll pay you a visit. Depending on where you sleep, I suppose.
Where's the best place to sleep? Outside, of course, wherever you sleep, because we'll sleep around that, right?
The best place to sleep is right next to me. And Steve. You can have your choice of the Steve, so I do every night.
Aww.
Little
Is there a particular Steve that is perhaps the length of a body pillow?
Oh yes, that Steve's outside, right on the edge of the beach there. I wouldn't recommend sleeping with that.
It's
Steve.
just like a dead
You might
raccoon.
get wet. Unless you're into that.
I mean, sometimes, but not when I'm sleeping.
I prefer to be dry when I'm asleep.
Exactly.
I think during everyone's talking, Faradir's already getting his bedroll out.
Yeah, we had bed rules.
What did you managed to talk to some of the folks there at Iron Harbor? I'm curious to see what they had to say. Any fun stories or happenings? You run into anybody funny? Please,
Yeah,
come on.
this is-
Gather around the campfire. Tell your stories to Steve. It's been months since we've gone to Iron Harbor.
This is the story, Steve.
Yes, this Steve loves stories.
Tell him about Jimpipe, excuse me.
Might as well.
Exactly.
Really? Those rams above Stonehome that they fight and practice on? That does sound pretty interesting. Must be fun. I do with my Steves all the time. He grabs 2 Steves and starts like clanking them together.
We also met a very feisty halfling woman who runs the inn. Well, inn, loosely. There are no beds there, which is interesting.
Yeah, Elsie. She's nice enough.
She also saw the lights you mentioned.
Yes, this is true.
Yep, those lights. You're lucky enough, you might be able to see them tonight too.
The other person we met is, I don't want to keep saying Burger.
Berger.
Berger. Thank you. My brain could not get that out. Berger. He, on the other hand, interestingly enough, has never seen these lights, but has heard talk of them.
What? Sorry, Steve was saying something.
It's not that.
Kind of turns to one of the Steves and says, whispers something. You guys can barely hear.
I grow more concerned about this choice I've made.
So just for clarity, the Steves are just little rocks?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like maybe on the open, the frameless window on this wall, he's got all the rocks kind of laid out in standing up next to each other
Yeah. Definitely.
in some kind of order, but you have no
Like a
idea.
4-year-old's rock collection.
Yeah.
Whatever the Galarian equivalent of Google Eyes is, they have to be there.
Yeah.
Everywhere, everything, all at once.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
I think while we're sitting around this campfire, I have a bunch of chalk. So I think I'm gonna take out some chalk and some tools out of like the artisan toolkit, and I'm going to attempt to carve essentially like a Steve, and just kind of quickly carve that out, and then try to hand it to Daryl after I carve it out. I'm sorry.
This is a visiting Steve. If you're tired of visiting Steve, simply tell it. And I put the visiting Steve on the ground. Tell visiting Steve to go. And I draw a go, and I show him like Steve's head is shrunk. Steve will only stay around as long as you want. This one, anyways.
Who is this Steve?
Visiting Steve.
Visiting Steve. Wow, I've never had a visiting Steve visit my other Steves before. This is exciting. Hi, Steve. And he's like got this gigantic smile on his face, and then he takes visiting Steve and kind of walks him over to his line of Steves on the windowsill, and they start to have a conversation.
This guy's sweet. Can we look around without looking around, like where a treasure might be, or like, what was Vandahoff? What was the
Valdemar?
Valdemar? Yeah, like if we could like find any like trapdoors or anything like that might relate to that treasure that he was saying he nicked from the Valdemars.
Yeah. You can roll just a secret perception.
Could Faradir also possibly do like a retroactive society check on the paperwork and the plans that he has of the house? Maybe there was something in the paperwork or in the.
Sure.
you
Yeah.
know?
Go ahead and roll that. Maybe you remember something, a recall knowledge of some kind. Secret check.
I guess I'll do a legal secret check because he would have read
that'd be
into it
perfect.
doing that.
Oh yeah. So maybe on the walk back to Daryl's, you're kind of racking your mind for any kind of information about who they hired for this job, and you do remember there being a name and a hired a contractor by the name of Daryl Finnick, who was based out of Magmar. And you're starting to remember a little bit more, and you think that your client may have done him dirty by abandoning this project and abandoning him here also without any kind of recompense.
Sad.
Plot thickens.
Your friend's a dick, bro.
Plot thickens with
Um,
2 C's.
You guys might hear Steve and Daryl's conversation kind of get excited when they start mentioning rams around Stonehome.
The Steves are into the Rams as well. It never ends.
He kind of looks over at you guys after a moment and says, "That's Stonehome. It's old. At least the lower portion is at least the." He kind of he drops the Steves in his hand, and you see his eyes kind of glaze over a little bit as he's lost in this almost reverie. He says, the upper works are new, not so nearly well made. Gorm's not a god of architecture, though. No. But I suppose it works well enough for them. What do they know about architecture? Interesting place. I've long wondered about the interior. He kind of sits down at his little crudely made seat, and he begins kind of like rocking back and forth, and like he starts doing this with his finger, imagining drawings of some kind. He says, I've always wondered about the interior. If this was placed here, and the stone was here, butted up against the back of the mountain there. He kind of goes off in his own mind, really, and starts having this conversation by himself.
I'll walk over. I have a journal I keep, and so I'm just gonna walk over and kind of pull it up and.
So, this is visiting Steve's cousin. Do you want to show? do you want to show Steve's cousin this? The way the stone meets the mountain. Do you want to draw it out? I like drawing as well.
Yeah, I can't kind of break my eyes. I wish I could. I've never really seen much of Stoneholm except the outside. I can only imagine. I would be very curious about the interior. What are you guys? What's your interest in Stoneholm?
We have a friend. We're concerned for her safety.
Remember the lady we were with?
No, yes. She's not here. He kind of looks around. She's not here.
No, she's taken a meeting with the lord of the town. And we hope that she makes it out alive.
Do you plan on going to Stoneholm?
Would you
Not
like to
active.
go?
No. I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to bother the Gormites. I don't like being around them. There's too much machismo. It's too much
Gossip.
masculine energy.
Oh. Chisme is like gossip in Spanish.
Oh, I said
That's-
machismo.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I've always wondered about the insides. It's well defended from the ground, but neglects defense from above. Stoneholm's positions nestled, it looks like, within a steep nook in the cliffside. It leaves it open to infiltration from above. If you plan on entering, that might be a way you can.
Climb up the cliff and descend down.
Yeah, that'd probably be easy. If you plan on infiltrating, this is probably a lot for me to ask, but would you, he kind of looks to you, Sif, would you draw what the interior looks like for me?
That I can do.
He claps his hands together. He says, oh, happy days. Steve, do you hear that? We'll get a drawing of the inside of Stoneholm, and we'll go home to Osprey Cove. Happy days, happy days. And he grabs a couple of Steves off the windowsill with a twirl and starts dancing with them.
One of them is artist Steve. He has a little pencil.
One of them is formerly known as Steve.
And then he kind of puts Steve up to like one Steve to each of you, and he says, "This Steve has something to say to you."
Put my ear out and I'm listening.
We'll see you next time.
Oh God. Okay.
That's it,
you got
everybody.
me.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Whispers of Doom as we played through Rusthenge. We'll end the episode there, and don't forget to like, subscribe, ding the bell, join us in our Discord, tell your friends and fellow degenerates about us, share us, And always, forever, don't forget to live by the
Live
die.
by the die
and die by
And
the
die by the die.
Bye bye.
And die.
Bye bye by the die.
And die, 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 die.
Dude,
We
well,
did
that's
it.
just that.